Check, check, check. Hey, it's Dan. Name of my channel is Numerical Lion. We use Grmatria or Gematria to reveal the false reality in which we live in. What is Gematria or Gematria, you might ask? It's mysticism. It's ancient occult mysticism, Hebrew numerology, and the secrets of the Torah. You know, so Gematria or Gematria is a numerological system by which Hebrew letters correspond to numbers. This system, developed by practitioners of Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism, derived from Greek influence, became a tool for interpreting biblical texts. In Gematria or Gematria, each Hebrew letter is represented by a number. For example, Aleph is 1, Bet is 2, etc. One then can calculate the numerical value of a world by adding together the values of each letter in it. In the realm of biblical interpretation, commentators base an argument on numerological equivalence of words. If a word's numerical value equals that of another word, a commentator might draw a connection between these two words and the verses in which they appear and use this to prove larger conceptual conclusions. So they give a little, this is what it's from, the Hebrew alphabet, one of the oldest alphabets in the world. And it's a number system. So who believes in it? They say while Gematria was used periodically in the Talmud and the Midrash, it was not central to rabbinic literature. The rabbis occasionally employed Gematria to help support biblical thought, I guess, but did not rely on it heavily. There was much more invested in the use of logical reasoning and argumentation to support their positions. However, Gematria is essential to Kabbalah, the Jewish mystical tradition. The very basis of Kabbalistic cosmological system rests on the belief that God created the universe through the power of the Hebrew letters along with their numerical values. Indeed, the many names of God and their permutations in Kabbalah have numerical values that are believed to contain potent power. So, Sefer Yetzirah, for those that don't know about it, Sefer Yetzirah is the formational text, the earliest Kabbalistic text. Believed to have been written in the 2nd century CE, was the first Kabbalistic text to elaborate a system of Gematria or Gematria. This text is concerned with God's creation of the universe through the powers of the Hebrew alphabet and with the permutation of God's name. The mystic practitioner could, it was believed, use this knowledge to harness the powers of creation. That's what this is about. Sefer Yetzirah supposedly contains the instructions to create a golem, the legendary creature made out of mind, popularized by the Maharal of Prague in the 19th century. So, this is about casting spells, really, if you think about it. So, modern beliefs in Gematria, let's see what they say here. I'm just looking at this for the first time as well. Throughout history, some people have believed that the Torah contains secrets that can be revealed by Gematria and used to predict historical events. This belief continues to this day and is popularized by Michael Drazin's best-selling and much criticized. They have to mention the Bible Code. I remember that book. I have that book, published in 1997. Some Hasidic communities that are steeped in the study of Kabbalistic literature believe that the Torah, as read through the lens of Gematria, contains clues to current events. Of course, there are skeptics, however, have noted that Gematria can be employed as proof to support diametrically opposing positions depending on the words and phrases one chooses to highlight and calculate. A somewhat tongue-in-cheek illustration of this involved in the attempt to predict the 2016 presidential election through the Gematria of the candidates' names. The author of the article showed how this line of reasoning could be used just as easily to predict the victory of either candidate. Nonetheless, Gematria continues to have an appeal in some quarters. So, very interesting, little mainstream. I think it's from My Jewish Learning. That's what it's from. You can find this online. And that ties into this strike that's going on. General Motors, everything ties in. having a strike. Tense GM strike talks continue into evening on the first day of picketing. Healthcare a key. You see, it's a 44-minute video. And everything in this world, these are people that are trying to make a world. They're trying to play God, so they're creating a reality through numbers and letters. And even this, I'm sure, is important. Strike right here, 44-second, Flint, Michigan is the scene. It's published at 8:50. You know, why? It's in Detroit. Well, it's all about Grmatria, because strike equals 44, and you've got a 44-second clip about it. That's what it's all about. So if you don't know, these are the 4 ciphers: English ordinal, reduction, reverse ordinal, and reverse full reduction. There are many more ciphers, but this is all you need to know, really. So strike, it's the alphabetic order. S is the 19th letter of the alphabet, T the 20th, R the 18th, I the 9th, K the 11th, E the 5th. Just add them up, equals 82. The reduction is simply that every big number is reduced down to a small number. So instead of K being 11, K is now 2, 1 and 1 is 2. Instead of R being 18, R is now 9, 1 and 8 is 9. T is now 2 instead of 20. See that? So for the 44, so the reverse ordinal means that A is now 26 instead of the first letter of the alphabet. You just flip the alphabet and it's reverse. And this is the reduction, meaning A is now 8. You can see down there. Reverse full reduction, A is 8, B is 7, C is 6, Z on down to 1. So that's what that means. So getting back to this decode here, nearly 50,000 UAW workers go on strike against GM, America's biggest automaker. Straight news right out of New York. You know, talking about Detroit, right out of New York, CNN Business. And I'll show you why New York later on. I mean, every word, every number, every letter in this article can be scrutinized because all these articles are heavily coded. So the United Auto Workers Union went out on strike against General Motors Sunday night. So let's do that. The United Auto Workers. Something called the S exception, where S is 10. So 101, very interesting number. 101, the 26th prime, a God number, right? United Auto Workers. This is the Union. Right, Union 28. Look, God and Union have the same gematria. That 26. Union, also Union 26, and the United Auto Workers 101, which is the 26th prime. You know, everything that you look at, right? So this is also a day with 28 numerology. I mentioned Union. Let's get back to the decode here. I'll go through that a little bit later, right? So it was a day with 44 numerology as well. 9 plus 16 plus 19 equals 44. And as I mentioned before, strike equals 44. 44 minutes about the video. Story comes out on this day, even though they do it. Isn't this interesting? The strike started at 11:59. Anyway, you add up all these numbers, it equals 16. I'll show you why that's interesting later on. 11:59. So actually, the strike officially started on Sunday, or Sunday night, and get back to this decode here because it's easy to go off. So this also happened in Detroit. Detroit 44. And what a perfect place for a strike in Detroit. Because Detroit is 44 in the same cipher. Detroit, strike, the same reverse reduction cipher Same amount, also 37. Strike 37 in Detroit, 37. Um, in the S exception, although Detroit has no S. Anyway, let's get back to the D code. It's also a day with 28 and 37 numerology. 9 plus 1 plus 6 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9 is 28. Right? And 9 plus 16 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9 is 37. So this strike is the worst strike in 12 years, since 2007, since these same workers struck, right? Why is that interesting? It's all about the numbers here, because if you write out, go to this calculator here, the number properties. So 37 a day with 37 numerology, right? 12, 37 to 12th prime, right? Strike 37. Last big one was 12 years ago. Just another coincidence. Just another coincidence, I guess. Also, so strike 28 and 37, as I mentioned before. Right? Union 28. Right? Which is the next slide. Union 28 as well. Strike 28. Makes sense, doesn't it? So the strike started on Sunday 9/15 at 11:59. Right? Kind of got, just notice this, you got 915 in here, 915, an extra one. Interesting. Anyway, September 15th is the 250th day of the year with 107 left. So this is when the strike started, right? 107, before we get to the punchline here. 107 is the 28th prime, right? Referring to Union. So when they decided to strike, a day leaving 107 left in the year, right? And God is 17 as well. 107 is 17. We were talking about that number before. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. So 107 days left. It's 28 prime, Union 28, strike 28, day with 28 numerology, 107 days left in the year. And September 15th is the 258th day of the year. And this is what they say that GM is doing. They're putting profits ahead of employees. This was an emphasized thing from their video. Profits ahead of employees equals 258 in English ordinal. The strike started officially on the 258th day of the year. No. So also, back in the article, let's go back to this article here. General Motors said it's made a substantial offer, including higher pay and profit sharing, along with investment to bring new jobs. It said it offered to commit to invest $7 billion in coming years to preserve 54,000 jobs. 754 equals 16. 1159 equals 16. Tell you why 16 is important here, because it's happening on the 16th. Look at that. It's happening on the 16th. All these things are adding up to 16. So it also promised a solution for 2 of the 4 plants currently staged for closure, one in Detroit, another in Lordstown, Ohio. So solution being the key word here. Now, solution also 44. Happened on a day with 44 numerology. Strike 44. Right? Detroit 44. Solution emphasized 44. And I was looking up the General Motors Company, because that's what they really are. General Motors Company. That's who they're really striking against. General Motors. 63. It happened on a day with 63 numerology. The strike did. I mean, it officially started on that day. All right, 96 like Freemason, 105 like Masonry. See anything outstanding? Called GMC as well. GMC 58 like Freemasonry. 13. So it's interesting too because 916 can also be rewritten 16/9, and that's like 169. What's special about 169? 169 square root is 13, right? GMC is 13, happening on 16/9. Just another angle here, throwing the 13 out there. So anyway, they're headquartered in New York, and guess what? They were originally founded on September 16th, 1908. I shit you not. I mean, straight out of, YouTube. I'm sorry, straight off the internet. American Lion is straight out of YouTube. Anyway, wow, that's insane, right? So the strike really, it started a minute before the official founding, so it's another one. And this was in 1908, a day with 25 numerology, the reflection of 52. Also 20, so that's 9, 16, 25, 43 to 62, 43 Masonic. This strike started on a day with 43 numerology. That's interesting. Yeah, it did. 9 plus 15 is 24, plus 19 is 43. And this was founded on a day with 43 numerology. 6, 35, yeah. 9, 10, 16, 17, 26, 34 numerology as well. Anyway, and in Delaware. What's interesting about 16, because I've been mentioning 16 a lot, 16 equals 33. Also this number 42. Right? So it equals 33. It was founded in Delaware. Delaware also 33. Delaware, the first state, right, called the Constitution State, or they're the first ones. They're not the Constitution State. Look at that. 1669, Delaware 96. Very familiar numbers here. The first state. What's first state? They're the first state to sign the Constitution, I think. Oh, look at the first state. 137, and it's the 33rd prime. Delaware equals 33. Wow. This calculator is just amazing. I keep discovering new things. So, back to this. So, it was originally founded by William C. Durant. That was 111 years ago. So the strike is on the 111th anniversary of this company. What's so special about September 16th, I had to ask myself. And September 16th in reverse ordinal equals 259. And you're thinking, what's so amazing about 259 in reverse ordinal? Well, September 16th, again, well, first of all, 2 plus 5 plus 9 is 16. Another 16 in this thing. And September 16th is the 259th day of the year. And 106 remain till the end of the year. 106 is 16. That number, everything's adding up to 16. I don't know if you've noticed that. I have a lot of 16 in this article. 7 billion, 7 plus 5 plus 4 is 16. It went through at 11:59. You add up those numbers, it equals 16. It's all about 16. Happened on a Sunday night. So 16 equals 42 as well. Look at these numbers here they're throwing out as well. 50,000 workers, right? Nearly 50,000. Why 50,000? Well, if you write out 50,000 for starters, you gotta write it, you gotta spell it correctly. 66, like if you write out 33 and 60. There's some Delaware 69 as well. So that's what 50,000 is all about. And if you write out 5, because really that's what 50,000 is, it's 5, it equals 66. Also 42, like this number we've been talking about, right? 16, 42. We talk about a lot of numbers. Anyway, so they walked out at 31 GM factories and 21 other facilities. Now, I heard on Amy Newman, she said 50,000 employees and 50 facilities. I had to laugh. She knows the code. So 31 and 21 is 52. Right? If you add these all up, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you have 12 here. Anyway, I explained 12 before. So the significance of 52. 52 is all about Grmatria. That's what we're talking about. This practice is 52, right? We'll have to look here at our other stuff that we were doing. So, all right, healthcare. So in the story, they talk about healthcare, some of the issues that's going on. Healthcare benefits and job security. So, healthcare, health 54, they're talking about the number of 27. Last time they struck was in 2007 or 27. They actually first 9/15 is a 2019 is a day with 27 numerology. Anyway, this was about healthcare. 45. Notice the 54 here. 54, job, 54. And in the article from CNN, this coded message talks about 54,000 jobs, or 5,400, my bad. That's 54 numerology, 54 and job. Job equals 54. Healthcare equals 54. Right? If you write out 54, 50, 54, if you write out 54, it is 54. Very few numbers like that. Also, this is another ritual, just like 27, 45, a ritual number as well. Another ritual that's going on here, a numerical ritual featuring General Motors, GM. Oh, I was going to do Sunday night. So, sorry if this is a little scattered. Sunday night 52, right? And we were talking about 42. If you write out 42, it equals, well, if you spell it correctly, it equals 142, right? I was biking down 142 today. Anyway, neither here nor there. Grmatria, 142 as well. Right? So all this you can get, UAW, there's all these codes. Lordstown, Ohio. Let's look at Lordstown. Lordstown. Oops. Lords. If I could spell. Lordstown 103, like 27, like Ritual. They're part of the Ritual, you know. Ohio. Look at these numbers. So there's another, what was it? United Auto Workers? No, it's not them. It's so this 187 number, a homicide code. Also, what was it? Oh yeah. So it's the largest strike since. It's the largest strike they've had since 2007, which was their own large strike. Because you got almost 50,000 workers. Largest strike. Same numbers as Lordstown. This is one of the things they're talking about. Lordstown, Ohio. Ohio has been in the news a lot. Chigozi Truth knows that well. Ohio 47 and Ohio 16. In the 16th state, what's the 16th state? Is it Ohio? Well, no, I don't know. 16th state. I know Vermont is the 14th state. Tennessee is the 16th state. 1796. So that's interesting. Tennessee also a 33 straight state. Funny that it's the 16th state. Tennessee also 52. Like Grmatria, also 106, like 16. And the 33rd prime. So let's look at this article a little bit. Tense GM strike talks continue into evening on first day of picketing. Healthcare key. Right, local UAW local 598. Why is that prominent? Let's see why. I don't really know. UAW local 598. Oh, of course, that's why it's prominent. 47, that number, it's got to be associated with all these things. 47, 69, number of Saturn. Lots of pertinent numbers here. So we had a lot of 69 before. I don't remember what was 69. Maybe it was over here. I think it was over here. Delaware 69, right? It's from Delaware. It's headquartered in Delaware. Also the reflection of 96. I think that was the big 69 there. So let's get back to the story here. So that's what that is, 47. They're saying 47, loud and clear, right? 110, all these things. Not sure why it's published at 8:50 yet. 50, America 50, 50 states. This is going to be a big strike, saying it's going to be a long strike. So, bargained into the evening Monday and had plans to continue Tuesday amid a nationwide strike that is being closely watched around the country. It's the first national UAW strike since 2027. Discussions on Monday 27, right? 2007. Monday, ritual number, you get up, you go to work, right? Monday, to show you 27, also 90, one of the few numbers when you write out equals 33, all going back to 16, 16 equals 33, and 90, they're the only ones, and you put them together, 90 and 16 is 106, which is 16, and this all happens with 106 days left in the year. Pretty incredible what a web it is. So cooler heads prevailed and bargaining continued into the night. So negotiations have resumed. GM spokesman David Barnes said in a statement, "Oh, they got a new one. Oh no, I guess that's the same one. Let's check his numbers." 50, like it's reported at 850, like America 50. Um, this is 22. Master builder number. David Barnes. Also 28. David 28 numerology. Right? 100, 107, that number. Right, is when the strike started. 107 days left in the year. 44. Barnes connected to strike and Detroit on David 44 numerology. I mean, you know. So our goal remains to reach an agreement that builds a stronger future for our employees and our business. Right, that's the GM guy saying. So finished off at 37.29 on a day with 37 numerology and strike 37 and Detroit 37. Right. So one person said GM has proposed that workers pay 15% of their health care costs, up from the currently established level of 3%. 3 and 15, 153, a Jesus number. 15 and 3 is 18. I saw that 15 before, and that was related to UAW Local 590, right? 150, the 15, 47, the 15th prime number, right? So this is what they're offering. Am I getting this straight? Yeah, GM has proposed that workers pay 15%, talking to the union, their health care. So this could last from 2 to 4 weeks. They were talking about 2 to 4 plants before from CNN. 2 to 4 seems like a big thing. So say, remember he promised a solution for 2 of the 4 plants, and now they're saying 2 to 4 weeks. So it's 24. You know, or it's 48. It's 42. All these numbers. It's all about numbers. And here's where I looked up General Motors. Get rid of that. It's just confusing me here. But this is what that's what that meant. You know, they're referring to this. What's in the article? UAW and GM. Long strike. People don't realize how angry the workers are and that a healthcare proposal made them nuts. You know. So let's look at this. I mean, you could look at everything in here. I need to end this video, but it's really fascinating. So people don't realize how angry the workers are and that the healthcare proposal made them nuts. 402, look at that. And 402 is 42. I don't know why I hit on that. 402 is 42. We've been talking about 42 in this article. You know, they're talking about 50,000, which is 5. What else were we talking about? 42. Well, it's Freemasonry, 42. You know, just more news by the numbers. I think I covered everything. This was kind of a long video, but I hope it made sense. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. Please subscribe and like this channel. Spread this knowledge of Grmatria, however you pronounce it. I think I just hit something I didn't want to hit. As usual, super clicky here. From the USA Today. And probably this stuff is coded too. You know, subscribe now. What is subscribe now? All these things that are constantly blaring at you. Subscribe. These banners. Subscribe now. Right? 69. We just see this. 150. That was related to UAW workers. New World Order 75. Freemason. New World Order 174. Number of the Beast. Number of the Beast. Subscribe now. 75 and 174. On the 258th day, and this when the strike started, right? Number of the Beast. 11:59. What's midnight? What if you write out 11? I'm making this video longer because it's fascinating how coded these articles are and how you can go through them. 11:59, 81, like ritual. 234. So 234 is interesting because the reflection is 432, and if you add them up, it equals 666. And 171, the 18th prime. The 18th triangular number, which is 6 plus 6 plus 6. And this is the reflection of 18, right? And 18 is 9, right? This is all 9. It's all equals of 9. So 9, also 42 and 66. So it's all just an interwoven web, which is really, I find really interesting. And look at this. So subscribe now. What did we find out about subscribe now? Because I could tell you something about 999. Number of the Beast, right? 174, 75. We're talking about the day. Subscribe now, right? Also Saturn number. So in this banner here, where is it? It says $9.99 a month, which is 666 flipped over. $9.99 a month, right? Stay connected. What is stay connected? I always use these words, and you wonder what it's all about. These marketing terms, everybody wants to be connected, right? Stay connected. 58, like Freemasonry. That's how you stay connected. Stay connected. So, 20% off printing. Why is 20 a big number? All right, this is all from USA Today. And there's a cipher which I don't think is used enough in this practice called Francis Bacon. USA Today 47, right? This number also 106, like 16. Haven't we been talking about 106 and 16? The 106th day of the the 259th day of the year with 106 remaining. And it's from the USA Today. So there's a cipher called Francis Bacon where you add, we get it up here, where you add 26 to everything. So that'd be 210, 21, like Saturn. This reverts back. I'm not sure why it does that. And I think that's interesting because there's something called personhood. Where you're a person, 33, 42, right? Maybe it's a fiction, I don't know, but that you see all these uppercase names, like, my name, Dan, uppercase is 97. My full name, Daniel, 201 as well, like 21, right? Name of my channel, uppercase, numerical 42, numerical lion, 146. Interesting. Francis Bacon. I don't know what these numbers really mean. 79, murder. Not a murderer. Lion. So anyway, uppercase. Maybe these names should all be uppercase. So anyway, let's end this up because my butt's getting tired. So here he announces that Sunday, September 15th, a strike. Terry Ditz is President of the UAW GM department announces a national GM worker strike during a press conference at the Marriott Renaissance Hotel in Detroit. Why they do it there? Right? I thought it was at 11:59, but that is Sunday, September 15th. Day with 24 numerology. I was talking about 24 before. So look, and it was the 111th anniversary of GM. And that 150 number, UAW workers, 150 as well. So anyway, I was going to do more with Francis Bacon, but I decided not to. I hope you enjoyed this video as I did. And anybody can do this. Just pay attention to what they're doing out there, and decode it. Union leaders voted early Sunday for its 46,000 UAW workers, so 46 a sacrifice number. Another sacrifice number, GM's 55 facilities in 10 states. So it's interesting, 55 and 10 have a relationship. Let's go to, what was $3.99 on this? It's not prime. So 55, they're putting 55 with 10. And 55, very special number, is the 10th Fibonacci number, the spiral of life. And it's also the 10th triangular number. You add the numbers from 1 to 10, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, all the way up to 10, it equals 55. 5 and 5 is 10, right? It's a number of God. We're talking about God, how they're playing God with this power. God. 55 as well, and 10. Right? We're talking about 26 and 17 as well. So the Marriott, getting back to this point too, there's a cipher called Sumerian. I think it's Sumerian. And I don't use too many ciphers. I mean, Francis Bacon just kind of started using because it seems very relevant. There are other ciphers I could use that are relevant. But it's just kind of, there's just a lot, as you can see. English extended, and a lot of them are relevant. There's no doubt about it. It's just, there's so many. So there's Sumerian, where you add, so God 156 in this one. So Sumerian, for those that don't know, G is 42 instead of 7. So when you see a big G, it's 42. Here's English Sumerian. G42, A is 6. So every letter is, a number is 6. B is 12, C is 18, D 24, E 30, F 36, G 30, 42. As mentioned in Z is 156. So these are all the numbers. If you write out, what was it, Marriott Renaissance, Marriott, Marriott Renaissance. So I don't even remember what I was going to say. Marriott 684. What is motel or hotel? I think I should stop this video. Kind of just motel 390. It's a very interesting cipher. I don't play around with it very often, as you can tell. So that's the 55 and 10. Strike at midnight. I was going to look at midnight, and then I'll close this video. That's been so long. Thank you for. It's been so fascinating too. Midnight. 42, like the number we've been talking about. Also 504 in English Sumerian, like healthcare. They're striking over. Job 54. A lot of familiar numbers. Of course, 132, 33 times 4. We're talking about 16. Now Always the, you know. All right. Well, thank you so much. And like my channel, Numerical Lion. My name's Dan, and I'll talk to you later.